I gotta fucking tell you about this. I gotta fucking tell you about this thing that I made.
Yeah, hit me with it.
So, do you? I don't know how, because I mean, how often do you cook, Steven? Is it like frequently or sort of infrequently?
Like once a week.
okay.
I've been doing it a little less. I've been busy, but
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So, I mean, when you cook, like, do you ever like you ever like make a recipe and you're like, there's no way this is going to be delicious, and then it just turns out to be like the most delicious thing ever?
yes, 100%. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
This is like that. It's this thing that this recipe that I found. It's called like obi ata stew or something like. It's like a Nigerian stew or whatever. And I look at the recipe for this, and I'm just like, how can this actually taste good? Because all it basically is it's like chopped up onions, bell peppers, tomatoes, and habaneros. It's got to be habaneros because habaneros have like a particular
How did you think
taste.
that wasn't going to be tasty?
Well, because there's no spices. Like it's like
Yes,
that.
there are. There's
and some-
habaneros in there.
Oh yeah, I mean, okay, but it's like that and like cracked black pepper, right? And like
And onions.
That's it.
Onions are a spice unto themselves.
I mean, okay, all right.
Especially
But
with tomato. I mean,
there's no garlic, there's no like cumin or turmeric or any of that stuff. It's just some shit, like some veggies, and like you cook it and then you blend it and then you like simmer like, some chicken or some like sweet potatoes in there and then throw a little spinach in the end. And like, I figured it was going to be good, but I didn't think that it was going to be like amazing and like super complex and delicious. It's like, it's so fucking good. Like, I was just like, how is this so delicious? Like, when I look at a recipe for like curry or something, I'm like, well, of course this is going to be delicious. It's got all these delicious spices in it. And then, I make this and I'm just like, vegetables are magic.
yeah, just like people cooked without spices for a long time. I mean, I assume you put salt in there.
Yes, and salt. Yes, of course.
Salt's the only spice that actually matters.
Yeah, I mean, it brings me a new appreciation for like how tasty vegetables actually are. It's like, I know they're tasty, but it's like, no, they can like carry the whole dish.
If you like that, there's a Nigerian beef stew you should try.
Okay.
I'll have to send you the video. I guess.
Yeah,
I can
hit me with
literally
that.
do that right now.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, I made it before. It was so good. You blend essentially the same combination of stuff.
Okay.
Oh my god! I just searched YouTube on YouTube. What the fuck's wrong with me? Nigerian. It's because I'm talking and
I
typing
get
at the
it.
same time.
I have often done the same thing. Oh, that does. That
Yeah,
does
it's so
look mighty
good.
delicious.
It's so good. It's essentially just like a variation on the Red Sea, Eritrean, Ethiopian, which of course makes sense because
well, yeah.
they're pretty close to each other, respectively.
All right. Okay. That's got to go on my list of things to make then because
Yeah, and it's super easy too. It's so good.
Oh, fantastic. But yeah, other than that, I guess related to food. So Lauren and I have been watching Food Wars.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah.
The fucking shonen anime. It is absolutely 100% as advertised. It's a freaking shonen HE as shit anime, but there's also food. It's like yeah, it's real silly, but like it crosses. I think for me, it's like it is absolutely trash TV. I mean, it's trashy as like anime gets, but like it's so ridiculous that it crosses into that threshold of like it makes it super entertaining anyway. So
it's definitely one of those animes I've wanted to check out before, but I've always kind of shied away because it was just like I'm so tired of ecchi stuff.
Yeah,
so I was gonna watch a Skeleton Night from Another World today, and I immediately just like Japan's incessant need to always just like be ridiculous. Fucking the hero saving two women from like orcs or something, and then immediately in the intro is like a little girl being chased by a giant pig man, and I just turned it off. I was just like, okay. Whatever this is, whatever interest it could possibly hold for me is not worth sitting through another second.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, Food Wars is...
No, I mean, obviously less than that, yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's just like, I mean, it's just like super anime horny. And it's like, but it does it so much that it's like, okay, it enters into the realm of ridiculousness,
Yeah.
So, if... And, the cooking is interesting, and that was really what I came to it for, so there
Yes,
you go.
that's the hook.
That is the hook. But yeah, it is as ridiculous. Although, you know what? Honestly, so, we had talked last time, because I had mentioned Gurren Lagann, and you had said, oh, like, Kill la Kill is the other one.
Yeah, that's the other big, from that era, yeah.
I think the same people, too, because, like, a lot of the style is very
it?
similar.
Yeah, I think, okay. That makes sense to me.
And you were saying like, it's a satire on all the ecchi shit, but like it's
a bad satire because it just does it.
Well, yeah, it's like in satirizing it, it just is the thing. I will say, and so we did watch it, and I will say you're right.
Yeah.
But they lean into it so much that like it still manages to be comical and good. And honestly, I thought it was really good. I
don't think it's bad. I'm just
but it does. It absolutely just does the thing.
Yeah, I'm critical of its like mission statement of an anime. It's like the blind leading the blind here, essentially. It's like you guys think you're doing something here, but either you're like what you're doing or you don't, and I don't know which is worse.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so like.
Yeah,
it's so either overt, but at the same time, like it's pretty like it's. Okay, I'm gonna walk that back. I was gonna say like it's somewhat fair in that like they do the same thing to the dudes, but like it's not fair enough.
Yeah, not even close.
Not even close.
How many just like sweeping ass shots do we get of the men?
It's
numerically. All. Yeah, exactly.
It's 100%, but like it's it is a sight gag show though, for sure.
Sure.
Which
yeah.
I do enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been watching it just a shit ton of anime, just in general.
I can see that you've been going through them. That's great though.
Actually, by the way, speaking of such, I don't think we ever talked about it on the podcast. But did you ever watch Odd Taxi?
Oh, I never got around to it. No, I do have it on my list though.
Okay, you definitely should.
Yeah, I know.
When you do watch it, definitely remind me because I want to talk about it.
I will. I definitely will. Something I'm interested in. I want to be in the right mood. Mm-hmm. I know it's kind of like thoughtful.
Yeah, it's not a difficult watch by any means, but like it's just like. It's one of the most solid animes that I've watched in a long time. Like it just does the thing that it's setting out to do as well as I think it could have done it.
Okay.
So, I highly recommend. We'll be very excited when you watch it. But the other one that I watched recently, one of your recommends was Kuroko's Basketball, which was fantastic.
Oh, that was one of my recommends? Wait, what?
You had mentioned it when I was talking sports animes probably a couple podcasts ago. You had said, watch Kuroko's Basketball.
Oh, yeah, Kuroko's Basketball. Yeah. Yes.
Kuroko no Basket.
Kuroko no Basket.
Yes. Basket. But that was fantastic.
It's a sports anime. Japan does sports anime really well.
They do. And I'm trying to think of, because we've got a couple others on the list to watch in that kind of realm. But I found it very similar to Haikyuu. And I would say that, I guess they're all the same, but it's got a similar arc, I guess, to Haikyuu in that sense. But again, I think to some degree they kind of all do. I don't know. There's something about it that I think maybe because it's a little bit more modern, and so the art is really good and all that shit.
Yeah.
I think Haikyuu was a little bit better, but it was still it was still fantastic from start to finish. I think Haikyuu.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say when it comes to sports anime, you will find that it's mostly just shades of gray.
Yeah. The only thing that is because with Haikyuu, I think they did a better job of building the tension of will they actually succeed or not, because they had enough failures early on that there is a real sense of they might just not win, this might, whereas Kuroko was less that. There was some of that, but you can kind of get on the thread of it. You're okay, they're clearly going to have to win this one because there's more episodes.
Yeah. The stakes are too high.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
What was the other one that we watched? We watched Parasite.
Oh yeah, Parasite's great. Yeah.
Yeah, Parasite was interesting.
Yeah. It was very weird to see that animated because I read it as a kid. It's a young teen. It's oh wow, they finally got around to making Parasite. Okay, yeah, cool.
It's good. Incredibly bizarre, but it was good.
It's from that era of anime when they were still like figuring out genres in the new, like, because I mean they do that every like couple decades. They're like, okay, we're tired of like mecha. Let's not do mecha anymore, guys. Like, let's do something else. Like they just shift every few decades. It's crazy. Like, but that's what they do. Like that's how fucking manga works. And then of course by extension anime.
Everybody just gets. I mean, yeah, it's like a video game.
I mean, it's like movies too. Yeah, like cowboys and we're superheroes right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was even going to say, like, you know, just like our last episode, it's like people for a good considerable amount of time have been doing the Dark Souls thing.
Yes,
you know, like, what if we just add Dark Souls to this game? It's like, okay. I mean, yeah, like
there are a lot more stamina bars now than there used to be.
Yeah, unnecessary in a lot stamina bars.
Yes, yeah.
Fucking like, hey, you know, it's an open world game, and I want to sprint, and it's just like, fuck you, stamina bar.
Yeah, fuck you. Have you, so I have watched Severance.
You had mentioned that last time.
Oh, I had already. Okay. Wow.
It's easier for me because I literally just finished the other day editing the podcast where you talked about Severance.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I have not gotten around to watching that. I will eventually.
Of course.
You know, it's on the on the list.
Yeah. I haven't really watched anything else that I can remember.
How's your Elden Ring been going?
Oh, good. I mean, I've mostly stopped playing at this point. I got like a good week of ganks in with my friends and roommates who also are my friends. And then I just did some invasions and it was like, cool, this exists now. I don't need to like, how many hours did I put in before I stopped? I stopped playing in April. Yeah, I put in 186 hours.
Yeah, that's respectable.
Yeah, just like, I feel good about that. Just like, don't need to force myself to play more. I played some Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah, actually, I saw you playing Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
how was
Cyberpunk
that?
Playthrough. It was good. I enjoyed... I'm like starting to do story missions now. And it's like, okay, yes, I do remember every single moment of this still. But I'm doing like a hacking pistol playthrough.
Oh, this is a second playthrough.
Yeah, with like smart guns and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. No, yeah. I've obviously finished the game.
Yeah, I thought you would finish the game. So I was like,
the game, yeah. I'm just doing a new playthrough because.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I like Cyberpunk.
Yeah. I know we talked about this at length, but like, you know, I mean, it is not. I think it gets shit on for some of the. I think I'll summarize it as like they set expectations that they shouldn't have.
They definitely should not have.
But like, you know, because I still hear complaints about Cyberpunk to this day, which is kind of hilarious. It's like, I mean, you know, like why is it even still relevant at this point? You know, like shouldn't it just be kind of in the bargain bin? You know, like and completely forgotten about. But it's like I think that there's something there, and I think for you and I who really just wanted Deus Ex, like and in an open world format, it's perfect. And not everybody wanted that necessarily.
I can just walk up to like situations as my character and I just stare at the group of enemies and they all just die one by one as like I hack the brains and like explode their brains out of their skull, and it's just like don't even have to draw my gun. I'm a tech wizard. It feels amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it is really easy to become broken in that game, and being broken in that game is fun.
Yeah, and that's all I ever want in any video game, so I'm perfectly happy.
Yeah. it's right up your alley.
Yeah, it's just like, this is great. It is what a immersive sim should be, and that's essentially what they tried to do. Yeah,
it's exactly the reason why I liked it. You know, I actually did go back and play it a little bit semi recently, but I think because there was some storylines I didn't finish yet, like some of the side characters and crap, and I was just like, okay, I'll just play it for a little bit, you know, because they have like the apartments and all that crap that you can get now. So I tooled around with it a little bit, but I was like, you know what, I'll just wait for DLC.
Yeah, that's kind of why I stopped as well. I was just like, oh yeah, there really isn't enough new, like all I'm gonna have is Judy's quest. I never did that in my first playthrough.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like I can do the diving quest essentially. It's like, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's enough to propel me for another like 20 hours to get there.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I had played what did I play?
How much
recently?
Elden Ring?
Well, I did play a tiny bit of Elden Ring. That's true. I played, I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I wonder how much more Elden Ring I played. I got up just past like Renala or whatever in New Game Plus.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. 68 hours. Is that really right? How many? I thought I had played more than 68 hours in total in Elden Ring. I don't know how I have so little time in there. Anyway, whatever. So I played like a few more hours, but like it's hilarious because like, you know, I spent a decent amount of time in my first playthrough, you know, getting from the start of the game to Renala. Like, beating Margit and beating Godric, and then working my way through the area and getting to Renala and beating her. Like that was a not insignificant chunk of my time spent doing that, and doing all the side questing that I needed to do to build up my character to get to that point. I took my 2 Daikatanas and I absolutely tore shit through both of them. I think that I started New Game Plus, and I think that I was done with Renala inside of an hour.
Oh my God. Wow.
It might have been a little bit longer than that, but I basically ran straight to Margit, killed him in a few hits.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Not a few hits, but I torched him.
Yeah.
I torched him. I went to Godric, and I by the way, I haven't even used my mimic tier up to this point, because I was like, just how powerful have I become? I tore shit through Godric. I tore absolute shit through the wolf or whatever that's in the
wolf. Red Wolf.
Red Wolf. The stoop, actually, Renala wasn't even remotely a problem. The only one that I had a kind of somewhat of a fight with is that stupid knight right before Renala.
Yeah, he's hard, man.
I mean, all you have to do is jump attack him, but
oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, you didn't know that. So okay, when I
fought him with a giant hammer and then with magic. So there was never a problem.
Oh, okay. See, when I fought him, right? He killed me, several times because he kept parrying all my shit, and I just I couldn't find an opening. And then I tried cheesing him and getting the big iron ball to fall on him and kill him, which
yeah, that's not gonna work.
I mean, it can work, but I actually got killed by it first.
Well,
so
that's exactly my point. It works once.
Yeah.
And then in trying to set it up again, you die.
Exactly. So that was out the window. And then I was like, wait a second. I was like, can you parry jump attacks? So then I jump attacked him, and turns out, no, you can't. So
oh, I did not know that. That's good to know.
So yeah, jumping R2 is the killer strat against him. Yeah. But I mean, dual plus 25 Daikatanas in New Game Plus is just ridiculous. And then So then, I used my once I got access to the finger reader lady and Renala, I respec my character so that I could hold two Hand of Millennias, and then I'd done one of the
terrible.
Yeah, I did one of the whatever the fuck they're called, the walking mausoleums or whatever, and copied that remembrance, and so now I have 2 Hands of Millennia. I'm dual wielding that, and that's pretty funny. It's just ridiculous, 2 gigantic fucking swords. So yeah, that I'll probably play a little bit more with those, because it's fun to be silly and have that attack. I find that that wet weapon is not as good as I wish it would be, but I bet that would be a pretty decent PvP character, just because that L2 attack, the fucking
it doesn't track as well as the actual Millennia attack.
Oh, I'm sure it doesn't, but if you get hit with the first part of it, it's pretty annoying, I imagine.
Yeah, I've run into it a few times. It doesn't seem to be very popular though.
I'm sure it's not meta in any way, but I'll tell you what, against NPC invaders.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
It tears shit. They don't have a chance. Every NPC invader, I just do the full complement of it, and they're dead. They don't even have an opportunity to fight back. But the other thing that I played, Outer Wilds had an expansion, Echoes of the Eye, which I know you didn't play Outer Wilds, but so I played the expansion, and that was very good. Although I will say, so. It's a little bit of a slight horror thing, in contrast to even though Outer Wilds itself is a bit of a horror game in the cosmic sense, in the existential dread type sense, but this is more of a more active horror, I guess, with walking around with a flashlight type of thing. Horror.
There's a monster, or
there are monsters, quote unquote. It's
definitely horror.
Yeah. But so there's a baby mode, right? I turned it on.
Nice.
I tried it without that, and I'm like, no. I can't play this. This is already too fucking stressful. Like, I'm turning on the baby mode. And even with the baby mode, it's not trivial, you know? Like, because, like, basically it makes it so that, like, the creatures that come after you, they're not fast anymore. Like they only walk. And even with that,
that's still terrifying, though, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, maneuvering around them, like, and trying to, like, get into situations where you're not, like, getting... I mean, you don't really get killed, but, like, quote unquote killed. Like, it's just like, I just found it too hard. Honestly, I was just like, I can't deal with this. Like, cause you have to switch between, like, cause if you have your flashlight on, like, they'll see you and they'll come after you. So you have to, like, navigate with your flashlight off, and, like, you have to turn it on and off, like, depending on the situation, to try to, like, navigate around them. I'm like, nope, can't do that. So, you know, I haven't really ever used, like, baby mode in a game before, but on this one I was like, this is justified. I'm never going to finish this if I don't turn on baby mode. So there it is.
Did you finish it?
I did.
Yeah. And so it was good.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I know, like, I know you kind of don't have that much interest in playing it, and actually based on the other games that I've recommended to you, I don't even know if you'd enjoy it, but, like, you know, it's
I know I mean I've seen the whole game already.
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't enjoy it, so
yeah, it's I just really I love the kind of lack of hand holding, you know. It's just like they just leave you to your own devices to figure all this shit out. And I will say this one was significantly more difficult to figure out what the right thing is to do. Like, I had to look at like a guide more times for this than I did for Outer Wilds. I think Outer Wilds, there was, like, maybe one time I had to look at a guide. With this, it was like maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 times where I was like, wait, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? So I don't feel like this one was quite as well executed as the first one, but I was still pretty impressed with it. I did have a lot of trouble figuring out how to fucking start it, though, because, like, when you've beaten the game, it's like they don't give you, it's like you get a quest marker, like, oh, go here to start the DLC. It's just like,
man, wow.
It's like, wait, what? How do I start? So I started it up, and I was like, I'm going to have to look up how to do this because I don't even know how to start this.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a little too obtuse for me.
Yeah, I feel like that
a different kind of obtuse.
Yeah, I feel like that could have been slightly better communicated, but, you know, once I got there, I mean, and it's like the actual, like, environment, it's like a ring that you're in. It's like a spaceship that's like a ring, and so, like, everything is happening in kind of like it's like Halo style, right? Everything's happening in the inside of the ring, but it's a really small ring, so you can see, like, you can look up and see the top of it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's such a trippy environment, like. Yeah. It's so fucking cool.
There's a VR game that does that utilizes, like, a
Hyperbolica?
Hyperbolica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following the dev log for that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Is it actually any good?
I don't know. I've never played it. I just
Okay, yeah. I to me it was like, oh, this seems like a really cool concept, but, like, I wonder if it's actually any good as a game, you know, or if it's just kind of like a novelty.
A fun novelty party game for sure. Something to put on once and then refund it on Steam.
Yeah. There's unfortunately so much of that in the VR space, which is too bad, because it's like there's very, very few, like,
my favorite one of those is definitely North by Northwest. I think that's the best novelty VR game.
Just kind of just put it on type of game.
Well, yeah, you just, like, it's just walking through, like, weird artifacted, like, reality.
North by Northwest.
Zero North by Zero West, right? That's
because North by Northwest is a movie.
Yeah, Zero North, Zero West.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, this looks incredibly trippy.
Yes, extremely. Yeah, it's fun to walk around in VR.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
there's a couple on my list.
Forever.
What was that?
I don't think it's updated in forever, but
yeah. What's the one? There's one for me. I'm trying to think of what it was called. Air car. You basically, like, you fly like a little, like, hover spaceship thing through a cyberpunk city.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just like, if you just want to fucking
free.
Yeah, it's free. You can fly a car around. It's great. It's a fucking flying car simulator.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
just the best.
Yeah, fuck cool. I'm gonna definitely add that to my. Can I put it on my wish list? No, it's free. What happens if I say play? I don't want to actually install it though. I just want to. Okay, well, whatever. That's cool.
Just remember.
I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you listen to those 2 tracks I sent you?
I did. Yes. Yeah. Cosmic Bushido and Empty Apartment.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, I like Empty Apartment. It reminded me of the OSI song, Home.
Oh,
or whatever.
Okay.
right? That's the one. Let me listen to it again. Sure. Okay, wait. I don't think that's what I'm thinking of. Fuck, I forgot what it reminded me of.
Yeah, trying to think of. It's
But yeah, I liked it though. It was good.
City in 100 Ways, I think. You know the band No Man, you know that, right? That's fucking Steve Wilson's other band. I think it was City in 100 Ways that like I was kind of like that was the inspiration for that one. I think it was City in 100 Ways. It's one of the ones off of that Together We're Stranger album. But yeah, and then what'd you think of Cosmic Bushido?
I did not really like the instrument in the intro. I like whatever I assume that's like a sample artificial, right?
Yes.
I just feel like it wasn't a very good sample, I guess.
Yeah. I had a lot of trouble finding good.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
That's not easy instruments to find, but I was like desperate for I just want that sound.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah. It feels like it's lacking a little warmth in that intro part. But then once the other stuff comes in, it gets okay. And then I like the actual song part. Mm-hmm. I just that cosmic first what's that instrument called? Yeah.
It's a coda, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sound like a real coda.
I'm sure it doesn't.
Yeah, that's all. That's my only critique of that song. Otherwise, I like it. It's good.
Fair enough.
Got a good energy.
I was really digging that one. That one just I started making it. I was just like, oop, I love this. I'm going to make this whole thing. Don't want to stop making this. I am working on another black metal song right now. That's what I've been tooling around with this afternoon because I just got the itch. So we'll see how that turns out. But I've been tooling around with it. It's more of a black and death metal type of deal. But when I finish that, I will send it over.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, I think that was it. Shall we talk about some albums?
Yes, let's.
All right, let's do it. So yeah, why don't you hit me with the albums you recommended?
All right, so I recommended Nocturnal by Filmmaker and Ask the Dust by Lorne. They're both kind of in a similar vein. I was feeling at first I was debating doing 2 Filmmaker albums, just straight up. And I eventually was like, no, let's do something a little different just in case. And so I did Lorne, who is also just a dark electronica band. And yeah.
And did you think I was going to like both of these or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured you'd find them at least interesting.
Okay. And then, so I recommended Culture Scars by Hail the Sun, which is a post-hardcore type album. And then Fortress by Protest the Hero, which is, I don't know what to call it. I guess math metal or something, maybe, sort of metalcore, but sort of not. But yeah. And so these are 2 albums that I really like a lot. But I was also kind of worried that you weren't going to like either of them. But I was see. You know what? Fuck. Yeah. I'm like, if I'm going to do 2, these were the ones that were kind of glaring on my list of oh, I really don't know if you're going to like these albums. So I was just like, I'm just going to recommend both of them just in case we just need to get them out of the way.
Get them out of the way. Yeah. I kind of had a suspicion. I had 2 theories about this, and that was one of them. My other theory was that you thought I was going to really hate one of them, but not the other one. So
yeah. I kind of had the feeling that these might not be winners, but
we'll find out.
We will find out
next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, end the podcast. No. That would be ridiculous. But yeah, can we do Filmmaker first?
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
All right. So why don't I hit you with my ungenerous take?
Please.
So Filmmaker, I liked that song.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I felt about it. If I could say, if I could be slightly more generous,
sure.
This album was certainly it was cohesive, right?
His albums are always cohesive.
Yeah.
Did you look up anything about Filmmaker?
I had a hard time looking up anything about film. Apparently he's like a Colombian electronic artist. Yeah. And I read a very brief interview with him.
Oh, that's more than I've seen then.
Yeah, it took us some digging to find that because I was like, who the fuck is this guy and what does he do? I think I say okay. I got my cheeky take out of the way.
Sure.
Honestly and truly, I listened to the first track of this, and I was just like, all right, yeah, like it comes in pretty strong, right?
Yes,
like
I think the first song is very good. Hostile Environment's a great track.
It just like it hits you right off the bat, like with a pretty good like first couple seconds of music, and then it just kind of like rides that wave for 37 minutes and 10 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
And like I really did not enjoy trying to actively listen to this, and I feel like it made my experience worse with it, to the point where I basically just like I was like, I'm not even gonna try and like think about any of these songs individually. I'm just going to let this album do its thing in the background and wash over me. And like, I think that this album is really an album that wants to be listened to like in the car or like I was about to say, yes, party.
It is the ultimate night driving music.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that.
You roll down your windows on like a cool night with this, and it is like transcendently great music to drive to.
I can absolutely see that. Like, yeah. I mean, it's I wouldn't be wrong in calling this like this is some form of techno, right?
I don't know. I gave up trying to like do genres a long time ago, I guess.
Okay.
This is electronica to me. I don't know what it actually is, but I just consider it electronica.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, like, I get the feeling that this is much less an active listening album and much more just like this is on in the background, like all that good stuff.
Yo, I was gonna say, have you looked at filmmakers like discography?
Is it enormous? I mean, every time I see that like there's like just tons of albums that like come up in my recommends now, and it's like I feel like I never see the same one twice.
yeah. So that would be the other thing I would point out is like, yes, I agree that like these albums are like thematically very tight. Mm-hmm. And the songs do blend together a little bit, and like that's okay because he's gonna release 8 more albums this year.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so you know, I think that this album absolutely is doing this on purpose and is succeeding like nobody's business at doing the thing it's trying to do, which is to create a vibe and then just do that vibe. I mean, like, you know, do you ever listen to an album and you think, God, I could really use more of that song?
Yeah.
Then this is the album for
albums. You. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is the album where it's like, if you like that song, you're like the whole fucking thing. And if you don't like that song, don't listen to this one. Just listen to something else.
And that is why I was going to recommend 2 filmmaker albums, because I was essentially recommending 2 songs. What I should have done is done a mixtape for filmmaker.
Yeah.
That would have been a better idea, but I
think that's fine. I think that like I'm trying to think of, is there like a standout track for me on this one? I mean,
Hostile Environment's great.
Yeah, Hostile.
I mean, I really like Filmmaker, so to me it's like, yeah, Hostile Environment's amazing, and then Nocturnal is also amazing, and then Natural Disorder, that one's also
Neuromancer
amazing.
Is probably the one that like just because that like
because of the it brightens the song up a little bit, definitely.
Yeah, but like. Oh, and I guess also The Executioner. Again, it's got that kind of like a little bit of like ear candy. Because the thing that I find with this album, right, like from a production standpoint, is it feels like he's basically run the entire album through like a low pass filter. So he's cutting off all of the high, like the high end of it.
Yeah, and again, it's like because he releases so many albums, it's like he like I don't know, he figured out he could do that, or he was like, I'm gonna do this on this album, and like that's it. That's the thing that this album is doing,
and that's fine, right? It's just like this I guess like it's a little bit, to me, this album is almost a little bit like of just like a little bit of a blue ballsy kind of album, because it's like
Filmmaker is a little blue ballsy in general. I will say that they are. You just have to get used to that,
and that's fine. Like because like I think, and that's why I mentioned techno, because I guess. And I'm bad with genres too when it comes to electronic music, but like I understand techno to be more like this, where it's like you're trying to create like a cohesive, like danceable, like beat, sort of. Not that this is danceable necessarily, but not like vibeable. You know, it's like you just kind of like sit around and like waver.
No, I mean you could definitely do like a hands in the air with glow sticks, like a 90s style, like a Matrix rave dance to this.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You know, it's got that just like really like chunky kicks and low end. You know, and it's there's almost no like treble to be seen anywhere. You know, it's like the opposite of Ekelin.
Yeah.
So
it's
like
all about that bass.
Yeah, it's very samey, and that's okay, because I think it was going for samey. So I'm not I'm not against that.
Yeah, I mean,
in
you
any
could
way.
not like it being samey though. Still, I mean, even if that's what it's going for, it's okay not to like that. It's
Yeah. I just like I can't imagine myself like thinking, that one song from this album. Like this is one more that's like you said. Yeah. I'll throw this on in the car and be like, yeah, all right. Yeah,
exactly. This
album.
Yeah, I do consider. I agree with you in a sense that like these are songs. Each album is essentially one song, and So it's hard to recommend a filmmaker album.
So yeah, I mean, I liked this, but I didn't love it.
Yes. And this is why I recommended Lauren as well, because I figured they were a little more active.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Lauren actually does have there's a movement to the songs that like this doesn't. This is like it's at one level and it's just doing it, and they're all good tracks, but I had a lot of trouble picking like any kind of standouts.
Sure, I think that's completely fair. Yeah. But I needed to show you Filmmaker because, like, they are one of the most prolific and consistent. Just like, do you want to listen to some like good electronica? Like, there you go, it's a little Filmmaker for you. And you had mentioned, I think, The Love Market at one point by Filmmaker, and I did listen to some of that. Oh, awesome! Did you like that better? I think I like the vibe of that better. I think that this is that was the other album I was going to recommend. I've listened to Love Market so much that I kind of wanted to listen to something that I was a little less familiar with, just for my own like interest's sake. Yes, for sure. It's like trying to talk about the Love Market now. It's like, yeah, man, that album's amazing. It's really good, super good. Whereas this is, You're gonna find I have that same problem with the two albums that I recommended, because those are just two albums that I have if I had physical copies of them, I would have worn them to the nub. Yeah. Fortress more than Culture Scars. Culture Scars I started listening to a little bit more recently, so I'll probably have more to say about that. To me. Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's really kind of all I had to say about Nocturnal. Like, thumbs, sure, are they up? They're in the direction of up, They're certainly not down. I certainly did not dislike this album, But I mean, yes, exactly. And you already said you went and listened to another album, you liked it a little more, and that's exactly what you should do. Yeah, with Filmmaker. There's something out there for you. Something out there for everybody. Absolutely. Yeah, there is a Filmmaker album for you somewhere. And if not, wait a year and there'll be 30 more albums, and you can just pick one then. Fair enough. Yeah, I gotta listen to some of his other stuff, because I do really like his production. He's scary. It is actually legitimately scary how much music he produced. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, if you got time, it's like you don't have to go. If this is your job, it's like, good, be prolific. It's like I'm even kind of underestimating it. It's like, I want to be very clear here. Like, renderer. Wait, I know. Are these different? Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he's released one album a month so far. Jesus, it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, but okay, yeah. So yeah, Filmmaker. It was. I am glad you recommended it to me. Yeah, that is. I expected that reaction. That's good. Okay. So yeah, you see why I wanted to put it first. First. Just like I liked it. Not much to say about it. But yeah, where do you want to go next? Well, I think we should go to Protest the Hero Neck. Okay. Because that was the order I was gonna guess. Yes, because much like you, I want to start with what I think is the weaker album. And I will say, by the way, before you jump into it, this was my thoughts, right? Because I did mention I didn't think you were going to necessarily like these albums. I think that with Culture Scars, I was banking on, Steven doesn't really listen to lyrics, so he might like this album more because he's not listening to the lyrics. Whereas with Fortress, I was like, you might like it less because you're not really listening to the lyrics, because I think the lyrics are a big part of what makes Fortress so fucking fun to listen to. Yeah, and yet you linked me the Hail the Sun album with the explanations for each song on the YouTube link. Oh, I was also banking on you definitely not looking at those. Yeah, well, it's hard. I read fast, so glancing at it for 5 seconds allows me to read half the paragraph by accident, and it's fucking goddamn it! I didn't want to know what this song was about. Now it's it's hard to listen to. Yeah.
it's unfortunate that is the best like copy of the album, right?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I really wish you hadn't linked me that version. I would have. I would still enjoy the album a lot more, I think.
Yeah. So, all right, sorry. Anyway, let's go to Fortress. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, Fortress. Okay. So yeah, ultimately did not like this album. Not to say that there aren't some great songs on it still. I just think that what it's doing is not for me.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have some song-by-song notes here, but overall, just like, oh boy, it feels like they've taken kind of like the worst habits of prog and the worst habits of like a new metal, death metal kind of stuff, and just like smashed them together. It's like so much unnecessary note, just like so many notes. I don't know, it's like that's a terrible complaint. I know, like I literally watched Amadeus a few months ago, and like the quote unquote, I guess the antagonist in that movie at one point is just like, there's too many notes. And it's like it's supposed to be like a funny moment because it's like, man, you're a fucking idiot. Like, just like learn to appreciate like how great Mozart is. What do you mean too many notes? And yet I'm gonna levy that complaint here at Protest the Hero. Just like too many notes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can do less things. Just sometimes silence or like slower. Like that's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So I found myself mostly drifting to like the shorter song. Because the shorter they are, it seems that they are like, okay, well, this song's only like 3.5 minutes. So I can't do arpeggio on the guitar for a full minute in this song. So I guess I'll only do it for 30 seconds. And it's like, that's critical to my enjoyment of the song.
I will say that I think the shorter songs on this album are generally the strongest ones. Although yes. I do really like, I think I do really like Palms Red, even though that is one of the longer ones on the album. But, I mean, I don't know. The title track of this, to me, like not title, well, I get the opening track rather, not the title track.
Well, yes, so I will say I love the first song, and actually, it's strange. The first song I've listened to probably hundreds of times.
Interesting.
Actually.
Okay.
Because like there was a time in my life where I watched music videos on Yahoo Music. I don't know why. Don't ask me why I did that, but like for a good 6 months, that's all I did when I was like a teenager before YouTube, right? So like I watched a lot of like Strapping Young Lad music videos and a lot of specifically Blood Meat by Protest the Hero. So I like the first song.
Okay.
I mean, it's great. It's got a good beat. It's like, I love the vocals. Like it's still, I still levy the same complaints at it where it's like, sometimes you don't need the arpeggio going on in the background. Like, seriously, dude, seriously. Almost every song has that.
Oh, I mean, it's the thing.
Like, it's like you don't need to do that all the time.
Protest the Hero is like the definition of like no more is more. Like
yes, more is more. That's yeah.
Like they just like they're like, how much can I fit into this? And to be fair, like it's a totally understandable complaint. This is one of the best live bands.
Oh, I'm sure they're probably a lot of fun.
They are.
I think they're having too much fun. Is the problem?
Well, that's the thing. Like this album to me is like fun personified. Like
yes, okay, yeah. So I agree with that 100%. This is a very fun album.
Yeah, like I think that yes, I think your complaints are valid, and the reason why you wouldn't like it, you know, I was like you're gonna hate all the notes. You're gonna be like, there's too many notes. That's all you're gonna say.
There's fucking too many notes, man.
There's too many notes. Yeah. But like for me, like this album is it's like candy. You know, it's just like. It's not good for you, and like it's not providing any like nutritional value. But God, I just want to just keep eating it. You know, I'm just like nom 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 nom.
Wow. Yeah, I could not. But I mean, I do have like I have like a positive thing to say about almost every song.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
It's just too much, especially listening to it all at once. Mm-hmm. That is hard.
It is definitely an album where if it's like mixed into your other stuff, every time a song comes on, I'm like, hell yeah. But like it is. Like, in the same way that Filmmaker is really samey, like, this album is really samey. Like,
yes.
I feel like I have such a hard time remembering which tracks are which. It's like, which track is this one? It's the one with all the fucking arpeggios and the double bass, and it's like, that's all the tracks, Jason.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see here. So, yeah, the first song is good. Like it. The second song, at about 2 minutes 30 seconds, it like again they take their time a little bit and they slow down and like they get a good beat going.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's such a good
and it's great. And then like it lasts 15 seconds, and then like oh look, the arpeggio's back.
Yeah,
just like but it's a little slower, so it's a little nicer.
Yeah, like, okay. I love anytime a band goes into halftime. You know, this is like,
and then the third song starts. Okay, and just I'm just gonna do it as it goes. Right? It's like okay, cool, yeah, okay, getting the guitar going. Yeah, oh yeah, okay, yeah, double arpeggio. Yeah, fuck yeah, yeah. And then like right here, right at 21 seconds, the song loses control of its own acceleration. I swear to God, it's like they realized that they couldn't control their own speed, and like they just go faster. It's just like,
and it's got the fucking like super fast like galloping bass drum too, like
and I just laughed. This is where I was just like, okay, I clearly am not gonna like this album because I'm laughing at it.
But see, you could be laughing with joy of like, oh my God, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's humorous. That's fun. So yeah, that just the third song is like the only time they really do that. It makes me laugh, but it does make me laugh. Where it's they increase the tempo. It's like they started at high tempo, they increase it with the double arpeggio, and then they increase it again a third time. And it's just like you didn't need to do that. And I'm sure it's intentional, and that's what they're going for, like kind of an uncontrolled, like it's cool. Musically it doesn't jive with me. I mean, I recommended a filmmaker album for God's sakes.
Yeah, no, I think these two albums in particular really show the difference in our music tastes. Like, you know, I've said this many times before, but we have a big overlap in our music tastes, but there are fringes, you know.
Yeah, there's some fringes, yeah.
These are definitely two albums that are a filmmaker less. I think you have drawn me more into like the electronica space than I've ever been before. So, you know, like probably like, you know, a year ago, the filmmaker album would have been totally lost on me.
And that's why I never recommended it to you before now. But that's exactly why I recommended it to you. I was like, okay, Jason's ready. Like, he's ready for filmmaker.
Yeah. And I was. I am ready. I was ready for filmmaker.
You understood it exactly what it is.
Yeah. And I think that in the case of Protest the Hero, I think it might be a case of you've grown out of music like this.
I was never really, like I said, I listened to the first song. I listened to Blood Meat, right? Which is, I think we'll both agree that like probably the grooviest.
Oh, I mean, Blood Meat's amazing. Yeah. Like Blood Meat is the reason why I listen to this album.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. It's the best song on the album for sure. The album just gets worse essentially as it goes, is my opinion. It's like it starts off really strong, and the second one is like, okay, you did this already, and the third one is I find funny. And then I haven't talked about the rest yet, but that's the general gist. It gets worse.
I really like Palms Red and Limb from Limb. I think both of those. I mean, honestly, like I think there's some Bone Marrow is a little bit Moorish, you know?
Yeah. I don't have anything written down for Sequoia Throne. I think I just like it. Yeah, it's 3 minutes 11 seconds. I like it.
Yeah, doesn't overstay its welcome.
Oh yeah, no, but I have a little note here for Palms Red. The halfway part.
Okay.
I don't know what that means though. Is this it? Is what I'm talking about?
Oh,
there we go. Yeah, literally. Yeah. Yes. Just like, yeah. They lower that tempo just a tad. It's like, yeah. Oh my God. Because I really like the vocalist.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He's amazing.
So good.
Yeah, I just wish he wasn't attached to this band. Because like this sounds so good. And then at some point the arpeggio is going to start up again though. I'm just waiting for it. Come on, give it to me. Oh yeah, look, they're doing a groovy arpeggio. That's so much better. Yeah, so I like the back half of Palms Red a lot. Oh yeah, right at 3:10 when he like changes his vocal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the back half of the song is so good.
I love Palms Red. It's such a good song.
Yes, very good. Yeah, but then and then it fades out, and then 3:50. Oh look, and then the arpeggio's back. There it is. I was waiting for it. There it is. Just couldn't. They literally ended the song, Jason. They ended it. And then they were like, no, wait a second, guys. We gotta throw some arpeggio back in there. Let's start the song back up again.
It's like, wait, I forgot to play the part.
That's seriously what they did. I don't understand. But then Limb from Limb is great. I like it. It's a good one. I love the beat. Which sounds funny to say about a Protest the Hero song, but like it has a really good it's good.
Yeah, I mean like
when you can get it going sometimes.
As much as this album is just like an assault on your ears,
it is, yeah.
Like the drummer is so good.
Yes.
Like he just like because like to deal with all of the shit that's going on, in this band, like the drummer's got to be locked in like all fuck in order to be like,
and he's just strapped.
He's so good, man. Oh, like they're all just like, they're just such good musicians, and they're just doing the thing that's most fun. That's what I like about this. It's like in the way that like something like Dream Theater is like, they're just doing the most technical thing that they can do, but like just to show off. Like this album, in a way, like even though it is such a show-offy album, almost doesn't feel like they're intentionally showing off. They're just a bunch of really talented musicians having fun is what this sounds like to me.
It is fun. It's definitely a fun album, obviously, from the amount of laugh.
Yeah, I mean, you are literally glee with laughter of how ridiculous this album is, which
it is
for me is what draws me to it. I'm just like, this is so ridiculous. Like,
I can't take it. There was a time when I liked music that was this ridiculous, and that's past.
That's what I meant by when I said you've grown out of this a little bit. Whereas I never stopped. I'm like, I'm a teenager again, and I'm never going to stop.
I settled on electronica. That's ultimately what I was like. This is what I like.
Yes.
Mostly because it doesn't have lyrics, I guess. All right. I don't have any more notes.
Fair enough. The only thing
I think I was like, okay, the rest of these songs are kind of eh.
Oh God, what is the? Hang on though.
Yeah. Are there any others?
No, there's one more thing. I just go, where is it though?
Wretch.
Yeah.
Wretch is good. I do like Wretch.
Yeah. 3 minutes and 30. Like around just before 3 minutes and 30.
Yeah. One sec. Yeah. The
fucking cat.
Yeah.
The cat is.
Oh my
hilarious.
God. Oh wow. Oh, I didn't. Wow. Yeah.
The cat's hilarious. He held a cat up to the microphone and it meowed. Like that's the cat noise. And they play this live and he does the noise.
Oh my God.
They're having fun. Just to wrap it up, that's this band, okay?
Yes.
He does the cat noise on Wretch. Like, that's why this is like they're one of the best live bands. It's like, and it fucking cracks the rest of the band up every time he does it. Because I mean, he's just like, he's sitting there like, it's just like, come on, dude. Like, so anyway, yes, I love this album. I totally was like, God, Stevens. I am surprised by how positive you were about it.
Yeah, it was just a little much for me.
Yeah. That's fair.
I could do with essentially exactly what you recommended for your second album, but we'll get to that.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Shall we move on to Lorne Ask the Dust?
Yes.
All right.
Let's. What did you think of this?
Yeah. I mean, well, I think it will not surprise you in any way. I super dug this. This was great.
Yes. Fuck yeah, of course. Yeah, it's
I
Lorne.
mean, yeah. I will say, I am a sucker for vocal hooks in my electronic music.
Yep.
And
Same here.
It's, this is rife with them. Like, when I got to like Weigh Me Down, like,
oh my God, dude. Yeah. Weigh Me Down. Did you check out any of their music videos?
Well, I mean, you would, in your mixtape, you would send me that one music video. Yeah. I didn't look at any others other than that, but like,
they're all good. Just if you're ever interested.
I'm sure.
As a little extra bonus, Lorne also just makes good music videos, as well as music.
Yeah. No, this is, I don't really know what, like, I mean, I know it's pointless to talk about genres, but like,
Yes, they're in particularly pretty incomprehensible genre-wise.
Like,
I got no fucking idea.
I like
dark gothic electronica minimalism, like, but not that.
I love the way on so many of the, I mean, first of all, like, it's got that kind of like glitchiness that I love, like even just right out of the gate on the title, like I keep saying title track, out of the first track on the album Mercy, it's like got that like
they have a sound,
and there's this thing that, he's doing with like the bass where it's kind of like swelling up in a lot of the songs, and Mercy's got that, Ghost has that. It's just like this kind of like swelling and then sinking back in. It's just like there's just so much like push and like there's so much movement on this album, like it's in a way that like Filmmaker, I was like, oh God, it's the end of the album. Wait, where were the songs again?
Yeah,
like this is just like this would continually like tear me away from like the stuff that I was doing. you know, like, and that's always the thing for me, right? Because it's like, you know, I put these albums on, you know, I'm working on stuff, and I need music in the background just so that like my brain can be occupied. And most of the time, you know, I get through the entire album and I'm like, oh, it's over. Like, I mean, even with like Fortress, right? I do that.
You're
you know, it's
just
just like, it's just there. It's like it exists and it just happens, and then it's over, and I'm just like, oh, that's right, the whole album's gone. This tears me away at many moments. You know, like it's got so much energy.
That's interesting, because I would not. That's one thing I would not describe Lauren as having a lot of.
Really,
like all their stuff to me feels very like it's all like heavy bass, and like it feels sludgy almost to me. A lot of their stuff, like Ghosts. Especially, like, listen, like that bass line, it just makes me like feel like I'm like trekking through some mud or something. And then,
yeah, but like, I mean, I don't know. Listen to how much like
it's
like high end and treble there is. You know, it's like like that kind of stuff. It's like, because I know what you're saying. Like it's very like I feel like it's like in a mire, right? But
yes,
like
exactly.
It feels like you're trying to get out of it, like in a way that Nocturnal is like, I'm just in it, right? Like I'm lying in the mud. Like
this is like, struggle music. Yeah, for sure.
Struggle music.
Yes, it's struggle music.
It's a good way to describe it. But like that is how it feels. And like, you know, I'm partially reacting to this because of the music video for like, what is it, 555 or
555. Yeah. Well, same here. Yeah.
That like, but there is a very mechanical feeling, you know, to this.
I think that's intentional, because all the music videos for the songs on these albums are like industrial in nature. So I don't think that's a mistake. I think that's like, they are trying to create this sort of like industrial heavy, like, that's why I wouldn't describe, what did you describe it as again? I'm sorry.
Having a lot of energy.
Yeah. I guess, but energy, but not in like a positive way. It has a lot of negative energy.
Yeah, I mean, energy in like there's got a lot of movement. Like, you know,
sure, yeah.
Well, I mean, what it reminds me of is like, it's kind of like that feeling of like a mechanical line in like an assembly plant. You know, it's like lots of slow and then very jerky fast movement. You know, in that way.
Okay,
you know?
Sure, yeah.
It's like, because when people think of mechanical, you know, sometimes people think of like, you know, it's all like very like clockwork, right? You know, but like in this, it's like, it's, if you've ever seen like a welding robot do what it does, like it's you know, it swings over and then all of a sudden it's like bzz, 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 and you know, then it like moves out of the way and then swings back over and does what it needs to do. It like, it's got that kind of like very fast and then very slow movement happening that just is like, it's addictive to listen to. That's what I would describe this as. This is addictive to listen to.
Yeah. I mean, I've been listening to Lauren for a long time at this point, and it's just like, it's like integrated into me. I've never stopped listening to it once I started. It's so good. So what are your favorite songs on the album?
Well, that's what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
So Diamond in particular was one that like just...
Oh, yeah, because of the reading the picture.
Well, what I really love about it is around like, I guess it's around 14 minutes on the whole album.
Oh, yeah.
Where it just cuts out, kind of. Like, not cut...
Oh, yeah.
And then, like...
Yeah. It breathes back in.
Yeah, and it's like, it's so like huge when it comes back in, you know?
Yes. Yeah, they create a really good soundscape.
It's got like the claps, you know, it's like clap.
Yeah.
And, you know, like it's the kind of like glitchiness and like it's you know, it's almost like the synth that they're using, it's almost very like 80s, you know, in that way. It's like I could see this being like something like that would be like a track on like, you know, fucking like Terminator or something, you know. It's just like, it's got that very like 80s feel to the synths.
It feels authentically fake.
It's an interesting way to describe it.
It's like, yes, these are not real instruments. I can definitely tell, but it's like, that's intentional.
It's like, because it uses a lot of like really cliched, especially Diamond in particular. This is not necessarily something that I would say for the entire album, but like especially Diamond and especially that part uses a lot of sounds that I would associate with different genres of electronic music, and it's using them in a different way. You know, it's like using these really like cheesy 80s synths, you know, and they got the claps and all that, but like the way that it's so dark in comparison to like some of the like kind of like,
I love it.
Yeah, I mean it's
so dark.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. This album.
And all of Lauren's stuff is like this essentially.
Yeah, well, I need to listen to more Lauren.
They're great. Yeah, Lauren is amazing.
I'm trying to find some of the other tracks that were like
The Well.
The Well is good.
Like the part right at like 22:20 where it's like, ooh. I think that's the end of it actually. Yeah,
that is good.
There's just so many. Oh,
No, but Dead Dogs really dig. I love the kind of like break beat in there. I think break beat is the right term for that.
oh man. Well, if you like breakbeat, I got some more albums for you.
Church, I love. Like,
Oh yeah.
like the way it's got like that like low fucking
Yeah.
you know, like, and then the like the high, like I don't know, like it's like that's what I mean when I say movement. It's like it's just kind of like going low register to high register, and like a lot of like hard hitting bass to like really backed out. You know, it's like there's just a lot happening here.
Yes. Yeah. It's very dense. I love how dense. Like, there's always these sound effects and like, yeah, it's so good. Ghosts is amazing. I mean, I love all the albums on this.
All the songs.
I mean, all the songs on this album. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, actually, apologize to go back to Filmmaker for just a moment, because I just occurred to me there was something I wanted to say about that, and I forgot to say it. So I'm just going to say it now. There was a track, and let me just look at which one it was here. But yeah, Nocturnal. I think it was Nocturnal. Is that right?
Yeah, the title track?
Yeah, the title track. The actual title track. The second track on the album. You know what Nocturnal really reminded me of was Ulver.
Oh, wait, one sec. Let me actually also listen.
Yeah,
to it
I apologize for going back to that. Maybe I'll cut around it, or maybe I'll just leave it here for all of you listeners to know that I don't take as good of notes as Steven does. I should probably start. But
well, I only take notes when I'm gonna be negative about an album generally. If it's like if I'm like I don't like this very much, I'm like, okay, I need to dive in and drill down to why I don't like it. Because sometimes I'll be like, oh, wait a second, I actually do like this. Sometimes that happens to me too.
Fair enough.
So,
but yeah, no, Nocturnal, for whatever reason, like, I mean, just like around like 5 minutes on the
yeah, because of the beeps.
Yeah, the beeps. It reminds me so much
that.
of Perdition City.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Because they do that sound in Perdition City. So
yeah, for some reason I was thinking that was on Lorne. I was going to wait till Lorne to say that, but no, it was Nocturnal that was that. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, apologize. Going back to Lorne though, yeah, like, and the vocal hooks on Ghosts. Oh.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The problem for me is I've listened to this
super low, like, I guess like a double bass, but like not like double basses in the kick drum, double basses in the instrument.
Yes.
Like that. It's, oh God.
Yeah.
So yeah, whatever this genre is, I like this.
If you ever figure out what it is, you can find other bands like this, let me know. Lorne is one of those, just like, they are in their own little corner as far as I'm concerned, doing whatever they're doing.
Whatever fucking corner that is, I love it. It's a good corner.
And yeah, Weigh Me Down, like, actually has lyrics almost.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what are they doing? Like, what is this?
And it's such a good vocal hook, you know?
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Roll and go, you roll and go, roll me home. It's like, ugh! Like, this is definitely an album that, like I said, you know, like I had trouble not listening to it. Like,
yeah,
I would be like, this is one of those, like, I'm like humming it in the shower type of things.
Yeah. And it's almost kind of hard to talk about it just because, like, how dense. It's like, what could I even, it's like, man, let me just click a random part of the album. Oh, look. Oh, it's immediately, I love this part. Just like, oh yeah, 30-15. Just like with this like drum and bass and these like vocals going on. I literally just a random spot. And it's like,
it's funny. I just did the same thing. It's like 28 minutes on the gun. I was like, oh, that's right. I really do like that part of that.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And it's just like, and it's that part every like 10 seconds. It's a new thing that they're doing.
Yeah. And that's, you know, like in the way that like on Fortress, like if you click to a random part and started playing the song, I would have trouble telling you what song it was.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, I have the same problem with this in a different way of like, wait a second, that's on this track?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so different in every song. It's like, oh, this is here?
Yeah, it's like, oh God. Yeah, it has a level of density that does remind me a lot of like that Boards of Canada album you sent over.
Yes.
You know? It's just there's a whole shit ton going on.
Yeah. It's dense. It's a little more like samey than Boards of Canada, ultimately, I'd say.
It definitely has more of a vibe that it's going for.
It has
does
a vibe,
that
yes.
In a more diverse...
It's less experimental. Let me say it this way. Let me correct myself. It's less experimental than Boards of Canada.
Yeah, I mean, Boards of Canada, like, I mean, especially...
is extremely experimental. This is not so... This is music. Mm-hmm. This is like trying to be songs.
Yes, this is trying to be
Canada
songs.
Is like, we're a PSA and a song and a fucking religious icon all in one. I don't know. Maybe we're nothing.
Boards of Canada, we're your god now.
Let's release our album from like a trailer in the middle of the desert. Yeah,
We're gonna release my album from a catapult.
Yeah, I love them, but they are artistes.
Yes, I know. I know what you mean by that. I know what you mean. Excellent. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to say about this one?
No, I'm very glad you liked it. Lauren is amazing. You should listen to them if you're listening to this. Do yourself a favor, check some Lauren out.
Yes, Lauren is fantastic. Yeah, this is a great album. I'm gonna probably be listening to more Lauren because I'm like this is definitely something that like I like and I wish that I could make. You know, like. This definitely falls into the category of like I can learn some things from what they're doing because they're doing things that I want to also be able to do.
And that's another reason I recommended it. I figured now's the time to start getting you all these electronica bands.
Absolutely. No. Load me up with them. I'm ready.
Yeah, I got a lot. Still. Shall we move on to Hail the Sun?
Let's do it.
No, I'm just joking. I fucking love this album. It was great.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, this is amazing. God. Especially with, like, the counterplay between this and Protest the Hero.
Uh-huh.
So I have to ask, did you, like... You kind of suspected I would not like Protest the Hero, right?
Yes.
Did you pick Hail the Sun because they're essentially just, like, the musically mature version? Because that's kind of what it seems like to me.
Yeah, this is doing that, but in like a musical way, in a more restrained way.
Yes, yeah, in a controlled way.
Yes, I thought that if there was anything that was going to cause problems, it was that you were not, because you have said many times that you don't like screamo, and this is actually that. So, like, this is actually... I mean, post-hardcore and screamo are essentially... They share the exact same DNA. Like, this is what screamo vocals are. They're this. This is screamo vocals.
This is screamo vocals? I don't consider this screamo. This is emo vocals. They're, like, indie.
What do you think screamo is? Screamo is screamed emo. Like, that's... Like the very first song, like, that's screamo lyrics.
It's so weird. It's like, listen, I'm now comparing Protest the Hero and Hail the Sun's vocals directly right now. Uh-huh. And it's like, wow, they're really similar, actually. But, like, in my head, they're completely different.
I will say, and some people do disagree with this, but, like, it's kind of, this is a on the fence type thing.
I don't know. This is so singy to me. It's like, I now realize that you're right, and this is screamo. But, like, when I was listening to this album, I did not think this was screamo.
Yeah, this is what, when you say screamo, this is what screamo is.
Yeah, but this is not what I mean.
Yeah, I know this is not what you mean. You mean Cookie Monster vocals. You mean Cookie Monster.
Yes, I mean Cookie Monster vocals.
Yes, this is screamo.
I love this. This is great.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I knew that you liked, what the fuck is the name of the band? The band that everybody compares this to, Circus Survive, or at least you like one of the albums.
Circus Survive, sure. I like one of the albums by Circus Survive.
Yeah,
I only say that because I've only listened to one. I think.
If you've listened to one, you've listened to all of them. Sorry, Circus Survive.
Well, then I like their good album, that like first one.
Yeah,
yeah.
But because like people, like I would call Protest the Hero metalcore to some degree, in the sense of, because like it's got kind of like, it has a bit of a punk edge to it, in the same way that like all things that spawned off of, like, you know, like post-hardcore and screamo and all that, like there's a little bit of like a punk edge to it. Like, yeah. Obviously, you know, metalcore leans far more metal, and Protest the Hero is very more to the metal side, whereas this is very comfortably in the space of post-hardcore. Like, yeah, but
this reminded me of like Minus the Bear, Dredge, the Mars Volta a little bit.
Oh, I could see that.
This is very rocky.
Yeah, I mean, and post-hardcore is, right? Because I mean, like, it's, you know, and you know, this is I'm speaking of this because post-hardcore is pretty much where I enter into this genre of music. Like, I never really listened to true punk. I never listened to hardcore punk. Like, that's not really, like, I never really, my knowledge of this space, I enter into it from the emo and post-hardcore space, because that's what I grew up like as a teenager listening to. Yeah. And like, I've gone back and listened to some of that stuff, but like, you know, I'm really looking for this in the punk space, and I already have this, and it's just post-hardcore. So
yeah. So yeah, I would say this album was a great choice.
Oh, especially
my God,
with the Protest
that's
fantastic.
Hero. Yeah, because like, so I mean, one of my first notes here is like the first song, right? Is like, you know, it starts. It's like immediately I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna like this. This is great. It's like, oh look, it's doing an arpeggio, but Wait for it. Sorry, I'm literally listening to the song.
I know, me
just to
too.
time it. Oh, look. Like a controlled drum beat, and then it goes like, it speeds up a little bit, but like 38 seconds, I guess.
Yep. I'm listening to it at the same time, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, it's now off beat, right? But it's on purpose. It's the exact opposite of Protest the Hero, where it felt uncontrolled. It's like, this is uncontrolled on purpose. Right? I mean, I'm sure Protest the Hero was as well. But, like, you know what I mean? It feels on purpose.
Yeah, and I mean, this is really mathy, you know, but it's
it's so precise. I love it.
Yeah, it's done in a surprisingly mature way, you know? It's like, it's really like oh, and also, so the lead singer is the drummer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so, like, the way that, like, he keeps, like, the lyrics and the drums, like, the way that those interplay, like, is just, it's like cake. I mean, like,
that's awesome. I didn't realize that, but that gives it a great flow. Yeah.
He's such, like, I love him as a drummer.
Oh,
like,
my God.
he does so many, like, interesting things that, like, you wouldn't normally see in a lot of bands, but, like, when you are the front man technically, and you're also playing the drums, like, I think that you, like,
that's amazing.
Bring the drums to more of a forefront than they would normally be.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I will say, I pretty much think that every song on this album is a banger.
Oh,
I'm bringing out banger. These
hell
are bangers.
yeah, man.
Yeah. I have very little notes because of that, because it's just like, yes.
Can I hit you with a couple things then?
Yeah. I do still have a couple notes, but
okay,
yes,
yeah, hit me with your notes.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, obviously, Paranoia.
Yep.
I mean, it's great. It's doing exactly what Protest the Hero is doing, and like trying to be uncontrolled and like really tempo forward. Mm-hmm. But it feels precise, and I love it. It's great. And then like, they immediately slow down a little bit for the second song.
Yeah,
because they're like not Mad Men. Just for a little bit. That's all you need. Just like a little breather. And then they start right back into it, and it's just like, yep. Is this the one? No, it's the next one that reminds me. Okay. And just like, this reminds me a lot of like Dredge in particular, especially like the drum work.
Okay. Yeah, he
keeps such a good rhythm.
When people talk about Dredge, like, I mean, the drummer, he just hits the drums really hard. Like, same deal. Like, the drums are so forward in this. Like, he hits the drums real hard. You know,
he really, he hits those drums good.
Yeah, he really hits them.
Yeah.
Which I love. I fucking love that.
Yeah, and it's just like the bit at like 450-ish where he like slows down a little bit and then like,
oh yeah,
a little bit before, I guess 445.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Then, yeah, he hits those drums good. Yeah, that really is it. You got it.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of push pull in this, like that. Whereas Fortress is all push.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and look, and like he's doing like a do, but he stops, right? Like that part around 5:10, I think.
Yeah,
and then look, there's a full 2 seconds before the next one. That's that restraint is so. It's only 2 seconds, but it makes so much of a difference when you're listening to the song, and it's like. Yes, it has a rhythm. It's like going. It's great. Yeah. So this was such a great choice with Protest the Hero, because it's just, they contrast so well, I feel.
Yeah. I could have imagined a world in which you would lump these into the same category, but I had a feeling that you wouldn't. I was like, the only thing that might hang you up is like, I mean, you know, it's a post-hardcore band, so it's a little cringy lyric-wise sometimes.
Yeah, but I don't find this cringy at all. No, I like this style of lyric,
cool.
I guess.
Yeah. So, excellent.
But then the third song, this is just Mars Volta.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They just snuck a Mars Volta song in there somewhere somehow.
The super tremolo picking all over the place, you know, and like, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I could, you know, I never made that connection, but I can 100% hear it.
Especially that muted start. Mars Volta loves that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like running the low pass filter over it, you know, it's like,
it's just so solid. Every song is just like, this is a banger. That's right. Oh yeah, this one's a banger too.
I'm so glad I recommended you this one and not their previous album, Wake. Wake is still really good.
Oh, yeah.
You should listen to it, but this is the better one.
Yeah, Body Damage, I think, is my favorite song on this album, actually.
Really?
The part, like, at 8:30.
Let me get there. Yeah, I love
it. I don't know the lyrics, so I can't sing along, but... Oh, my God. Yeah, it's just like a Mars Volta song. I love it.
Oh, yeah, like the...
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's very Mars Volta. I never made that connection, but you're 100% right with that.
Yeah, wow. And the fact that I know now that he's the drummer... It's like, how is he doing this?
Oh God, it's like it's got to be fucking torture, man.
Yeah,
like
god damn. Yeah. So good. And he slows down at like 9:15.
Yep.
And he goes soft. Just perfection. So good.
Oh, God, I'm so fucking happy, man. I was so worried. I was like, oh, God, are you going to hate both of these? I was like, I hope you at least like Culture Scars.
I actually was mediocre on Protest the Hero. I don't like their style, but like I get it.
Yeah.
And this is right up my alley. This is great.
Okay. There might be other bands that I can recommend to you then. Now, knowing that you like this style.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, I can put some things on the list that I was kind of worried about putting on.
Awesome. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Though I will say, again, I really wish you hadn't given me this version.
I know, I'm sorry, I know.
It's like right after these, after Body Damage, it's just like words of gratitude, parents, great. The fun and dysfunction about like.
But I mean, those are the names of the tracks.
Relationship.
Like, those are the names.
But then it has these little fucking like sentences.
I know.
On the YouTube video, the people that protect us. Just like it. Just I wish I could just like put a big fucking piece of tape over my screen right now, so I don't have to fucking see this shit. It's like I don't fucking want to know what your bullshit opinion is, musician person. I want to listen to your music.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right though. There are no other versions. Yeah.
Like I said, if I could have done something else, I would have.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. So, but yes, but getting back to the actual songs, just like, yeah, Words of Gratitude is like, it's your traditional slow song. I don't know. Like I've heard this one is not. This is not, there's more than one ballad on here.
Yeah, this is not the best one.
Yeah. Ballads are not, I'm not as down with the ballads. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, the track 8, when we get to it, that is the ballad.
Yeah,
that's
a good one. Yeah, that is the good one. Yeah.
But yeah,
but
so
then
Fun
it
and
gets right back
Dysfunction,
to
though.
it. Yes. I mean, yeah.
So the part for me on this that like I love more than almost any other part on this album, which is saying a lot because I love this album, is at like around 18 minutes.
Oh, 18 minutes. Okay, you're jumping. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like with when he like switches over to like the double bass and like hitting the fucking like ride bell, and it just explodes like. I actually,
oh my God, dude, yeah, that playing that bell is ridiculous.
Like I have poorly learned that part on the drums. Like it's like it's so fucking good, man.
That sounds amazing.
I love it's like so. There are certain drummers like I'm not going to claim that like because I'm not a good drummer, right? Like I'm not a good drummer. Yeah. But there are drummers that like. They do a thing like I'm sitting there listening to this like and like I'm sitting like listening to this one like at around 18 minutes and I'm like, oh man, it would be really great if he just started like going at it with the double bass at this part and then he just does it and I'm like, oh, thank you, Donovan. Like that's exactly what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to just fucking wail on the double bass on this part. You just did it for me. Like. You got me. You know what I want. You know, he's one of those drummers where like he does things and I'm like, that's what I would have wanted him to do. I'm really glad he did it.
Yes. It just every song. I'm listening to The People That Protect Us. Mm-hmm. So like right at 21 minutes when the song like hits.
Yeah, let me get there.
The da 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 da.
Yeah.
It's just like It's like punky right now a little bit. Like it gets punky. It's
Oh man, I like it when you're happy. This is
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, thank you. I mean, I love finding music that I like.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you should go back and listen to Wake then, because Wake is good, but it's not as good as this, but it is good. Like I almost recommended Wake, but I was like, but this one is better.
This one's really good. This is definitely like this goes up there on the classics for me for sure.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, because I feel the same way. Like I'm obsessed with this album.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Yeah, and like, you know, like on People That Protect Us, like there is some crazy arpeggio shit, but like, it's spice instead of the whole thing.
Yes, it's a spice. Yes, exactly. Arpeggio is spice. It is not the main course. Protest the Hero is like, here is not just a chocolate cake. We've removed the cake part and we just gave you a plate of icing.
Yeah.
It's like, sure, yeah, I'll eat some icing. I'm not gonna lie. But like, I'm not gonna eat, how long is that album? Like 40 minutes or something?
Yeah, like 40-ish minutes, something like that.
I'm not eating 40 minutes of icing.
Yeah.
But this is not that. There's like some cake, but there's also like some Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
And some like carrots and a little bit of chicken. And it's like, great, I got everything here. It's got all the things I want, and it doesn't like only give me chocolate icing. Sorry, I'm sorry to continue to rail on Protest the Hero. It's just too easy. It's so fun.
I get it, because it's like, I mean, when I go to their show, because I've seen them many times live, I know every time I do, I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm gonna like listen to like an hour and a half of Icing. That's it. It's just I'm gonna sit there, and they're just and the lead singer, he's hilarious. Like he's
of course.
You know,
he's in Protest the Hero. He can't not be.
They're from Canada. Like they're doofuses.
Okay, so they're also they're just really nice.
They're just really nice. They're doofuses. They're like super. They're super cool, and like they're just the best band. It's just like I'm just like, you guys are the best.
I believe it. Yeah.
So I have a different relationship with that music than you do.
Yeah. I mean, Godspeed. Like, I'm glad they're having fun.
Yeah.
That's all that's important.
But yes, I understand why it was not going to be your cup of tea. So I figured I'd get that one out of the way.
I it's for the same reason I don't like listening to Ziltoid the Omniscient. It's like, it's cool. I get it. Awesome. Like, I enjoyed listening to it exactly once.
Yeah. No, yeah. Ziltoid for me, it's just like, it's a little bit too like.
I mean, Ziltoid is the extreme.
Yeah,
obviously.
it's. I mean, yeah, it is. It's super wanky, and it's also like there's too much of like the commentary and stuff in there that I'm just like, I don't care about like the story of this. Yes. You know, like it's funny.
It's very like old school like hip hop album. Just like, here's a sketch, then a song, then a skit, then another skit, then a song, and then a skit that turns into a song, and then another skit, and then 2 songs, but then 3 skits.
I didn't realize that was a thing, but okay.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, yeah. All the old, like, really, like Prince Paul, or, like, a bunch of the Wu-Tang, like, they all have just, like, skit. Hey, I have more skits. Fucking Old Dirty Bastard. He had a lot of skits in his.
Okay.
Always got to start out with a skit.
Got to start.
I don't know why, but that's what it was.
That's interesting. I had no idea.
And I'm sure Devin Townsend is a huge hip hop fan.
I would not surprise me. I think he's to be. I think he's in every. We will have to do a Devin Townsend.
We will. We should do that soon.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because we keep saying that. I think we said that like a year ago. So
it wasn't quite a year ago, but it might feel. I think we said it like 2 podcasts ago, but that feels like it could be a year ago.
It feels like a year. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we could do that. We could even do that next time. Maybe that's what we should do. Because I mean, I love Devin Townsend. It's so funny too, though, when you say Ziltoid, because it's like. Every time I go to his shows, like I feel like half the people are there for only the Ziltoid songs, and the other half the people are there for everything but the Ziltoid songs.
Yeah, of course, that's what it is.
Yeah,
he made an album called Ziltoid the Omniscient about Ziltoid the Omniscient. Like on the note, like it's boy. Again, Godspeed, have fun. I'm out.
Devin Townsend, I respect. I mean, not to get into the whole thing. Like, I respect him so much for just being like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna do what I want." You know, like I don't give a shit what you actually want to listen to. Like, I'm just gonna make the music that I like, and you can decide what that means to you. And it's like that is the best approach as an artist. Just do whatever the hell you want. I don't care if you like it. I'm gonna change genres every album. Like. Fuck you. I just make Devin Townsend music. That's what I do. And that is whatever I say it is at this particular moment. So
I prefer that to the other thing, which is bands just like desperately trying to do both.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's clear that like they want to do a new genre, but they're not doing it. Echolin comes to mind.
One of these I'm gonna have to make you listen to that whole album one of these.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I know that you're gonna hate it, but I just want.
They hurt me deep. That was literally my favorite band, and it's just like they released a new album finally. It's garbage.
Like, but like the album that they released after it is still very much in their style. That one's just like a weird one-off where they just decided to do something different.
Well, I didn't know they released another album after. I mean, I'm sure I did, but I forgot.
Yeah, it does not sound like that, because like that's the album that I'm like, wow, I really like that. I mean, we've talked. I like Echolin, but I don't like Echolin like you like Echolin.
Yeah. I mean, I really only like As the World and Cowboy Poems. Okay, no, never mind. I love Echolin. It's all great. Except fucking Me or whatever. Anyway, this is not an Echolin podcast. Yeah.
Yes. Back to this though.
Where were we? The Burn Nice and Slow.
Yep.
Just like it gets like a little post rocky. Just like 27 minutes on, it just like does the post rock build up for like a good 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Or I guess 27:30 is where it really starts. That like.
I'm trying to. Oh, but hang on.
27:30?
Yeah, like, before that, though, because there's a part that
Oh, yeah.
At 24 or 25, just 25, 17.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love that.
Yeah, that's very anime.
I love that. But yeah, sorry, 27. That's what you said.
27:30.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like I'm a sucker for the fucking
yeah, like there's like the slow beat, just like a bah,
yeah,
like, bah, bah.
Yeah, and just like it's great.
Yeah, I mean this album absolutely just like it takes you on its ride.
Yeah.
It's like like it's such like a. It's so like carefully controlled. It's just like, okay, now this part, and it's gonna like fucking hook you in.
Is it breaking fresh new ground? Not really. But goddamn, is it doing what it does real well?
Yeah, I mean, it's taking things that like have existed. I mean, like Circus Survive,
Yes.
right? It's like Circus Survive is kind of like a mathy type post-hardcore band. Like all this stuff has already existed before, but it's done like expertly. This is like the three Michelin star version of that thing.
I maybe have never had this particular combination and ratio of styles, right? It's like I've heard all of this before in different bands, but I've never heard a Circus Survive minus Dredge Mars Volta band before with like 30% Mars Volta, 20% Circus Survive, 15% minus the Bear, and I can't finish it because I can't do math, so I'm just gonna say 35%. I hope that's right.
Get your calculators out.
Yeah, someone will do it.
Somebody will do it.
Let us know in the comments if I got to 100 or not. Amazing, great balance. I'm listening to Never Mouse. Never Let a Mouse.
Never kill a mouse. Let it kill itself. Super emo.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, so we got to talk about this one though. So for the first part of the song, right? There's no drums, and so it feels like it's in 4/4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then wait to where the drums come in, which, I mean, I can't remember exactly what point in the song it is. It's like, it's soon though. It's like, I'm at 29:40. So it's like, you're counting it out. It's like, oh, it feels like it's in 4, It's like, oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
What is it in? Wait.
Well, then wait, you get to the drums.
Yeah, I'm at the drums, but I can't count time anymore, Jason.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cause 29:58, the drums come in. It's in 6/4. It's in 6/4.
Okay. I can tell that it wasn't,
because it's like you hear those drums come in, you're like, wait a second, that's not like, that's not, I'm not counting 4 anymore. It's like dun dun dun. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, and like the way that like he's singing in 4 the whole time, and then all of a sudden the drums come in, you're like, no, he wasn't. He was in 6/4. It's just like that ballad, Never Kill a Mouse, is like perhaps the best post-hardcore ballad that there has ever been.
Yes. The difference between this and the Words of Gratitude is like he really goes crazy on the lyrics here. Like his vocals are way more intense on this song, and it really like elevates the ballad.
Yeah, no, he sounds fantastic on this.
Yeah, it's so good.
This is actually one of their older songs, and if you listen to like the original demo, like they made enormous strides on this. This is a much better song than the first time they wrote it. Oh,
I bet. Yeah. I mean,
because it's like their original version of the song, first of all, like I think it starts out with the drums, which is a mistake because then you don't have that like moment of like, oh, everything's different now. And like it's more like screamy and like a little bit faster.
Yeah. And there's a lot of technical stuff going on in this album that I think like goes over my head, but like it's very carefully constructed. Mm-hmm. You can tell.
Yeah, I mean, this whole album is just fucking like it's as a musician, like I admire the shit out of everything there. It's like it's such a tight album, and it's doing a lot of complicated things that like are still musical in the way that Protest the Hero does a lot of complicated things, but like it's just like a baseball bat to the face.
Yeah, this has a flow to it. Mm-hmm. It's not just a flood. Yes. I appreciate it. It's great. It's a great album.
Yeah, and then Ministry of Truth.
Yeah.
I love the opening to that.
Oh, yes. And I love the ending to it too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like you get the fast like stuff happening like once the drums come in. It's like,
yeah. And then the part around 3650. The when the guitars come in. And it fades to static for a second.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's the way he like screams out integrity there at the end. It's like he's like squeaking it out of his throat. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, the only complaint I have about this album is that like the last track just kind of ends.
Yeah.
And I really like the last track, but it's just like it kind of ends in a weird place. It's just kind of like, oh, the album's over.
That's fine for me. I didn't really notice it.
Doesn't register.
That seemed fine. It had to end at some point, I guess. I love the start of I love the end song too. Doing the same thing, expecting different results is fucking great.
Oh, it's a fantastic song.
Yeah. And look, it starts with an arpeggio, but it's fine because it's not like the millionth one. And it's like different sounding than the other ones that were in the other songs, right? Like they had fewer arpeggios and different kinds of arpeggios. It's a miracle.
And again, like at 38:20-ish, like the drumming there, like he starts laying into that ride bell.
Yeah, sorry. I don't want to skip too far because I'm skipping over other parts that are also really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that typecast, and then yes. Yeah, oh yeah, when the drums come in here, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, this reminds me a lot of fucking like it's Mars Volta, like at the drive-in, like it's got like that punk edge to it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and then right here, 3840 when like the dueling guitar, I guess, comes in or whatever. I don't know how to describe that.
Well, I think he's just playing really high up. But,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I love that sound. You know, it's just like I mean, that's such a post-hardcore like cliche, but like it's just great. Like
yeah, and it's like they haven't really done this right in the album yet. Maybe a couple times, I guess, but like I've said this before about other albums. I think it was the Ohm album. I said this about, but I appreciate a certain level of like restraint in my music. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, yes, I know you want to like, you know, spew your artistic bile out onto the ground in front of you uncontrollably, but like, I appreciate a little packaging. I'm you know, maybe that makes me a little plebeian or something.
No, I mean,
but,
like it's like
I enjoyed the packaging a little bit.
It's okay to like I guess let me describe it like this: when you're really good at like. When you're really good as a musician or an artist or anything like that,
G3.
It is really hard to not like show that off at every possible opportunity.
Yeah,
like
and it's not flattering to do so.
No, it's okay to just like back off a little bit. And like, you know, even though like I say that, like in the Protest the Hero stuff, like I said, it doesn't really feel like showy. It just feels
it's fine
like
to flaunt it too.
Yeah, like they're just having fun.
Yeah,
and I'm okay with that, even if it doesn't jive with everybody. But like, yeah, I mean, there's some like prog bands and stuff where it's just like I used to really enjoy, but now it's just like no, this is just complicated for the sake of it.
Exactly.
You know?
That's I get those vibes from Protest the Hero where it's like I listen to a lot of prog music. I listened to just prog music for many years, and that leaves scars.
Yeah, see, it's like, so, you know, because I've watched some interviews with them as well, and the actual truth of it is they, starting with the album right before Fortress, which was Kazaya, like, there was a sound that they wanted, which was, you know, Kazaya and Fortress and all this, their sound going forward that they really wanted, and they just weren't there yet. So like they actually practiced like a shit ton to get really good to be able to do all that stuff because there was something that they wanted to do. There was a sound that they were after that they couldn't get to because they just weren't physically good enough at their instruments yet. And like so they worked their fucking asses off to just become these incredible like hulked out musicians because they're like, no, I want to just do crazy arpeggios the whole time. Like that's the sound that I have in my brain.
They worked really, really hard to make
music that you hate.
Fortress by Protest the Hero.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, in a way that, like, I think there's other musicians that, like, they become really good and then don't know what they want to do with that, so they just do the most complicated thing that they can possibly do.
Yeah.
With Protest the Hero, it's like, no, there's something that I want to make, and I'm going to work hard to get there. And it's like, I get it. It doesn't jive with everybody, but, like, I feel like it comes from a different place, and I appreciate it more.
And I still liked at least 50% of that album.
Yeah.
Like
you liked it more than I thought you were going to.
Yeah. it's definitely a like, I really like Blood Meat, and I will continue to listen to just Blood Meat.
That's fine. That's basically the song on that album.
Yeah, it's like, yep, I don't want to add any other Protest Hero songs to the list. Blood Meat's good, but I will listen to Hail the Sun more.
Excellent.
All of it, because it's great.
Yeah. And yeah, that around like 41:30, the end of the song, I love like they got that again, like the high guitar, it's like it's like, oh god.
Oh yeah. And it's like, it's high pitched and fast, but it's muted a little bit, and like
yeah,
I love that
background.
sound. Yeah, it's all post-hardcore. I mean, I guess I'm using that word. I kind of consider, I know this isn't shoegaze, but this is like bumping up against shoegaze stuff.
Well, I mean, post-hardcore is a wide swath, right? Like,
oh, okay.
There's a lot of different stuff in, like, I mean, you could make that genre more narrow, and you could like, because like this is mathy post-hardcore, and math rock has lots of shoegaze elements.
Yeah.
And, like, post-hardcore can describe such a huge number of bands that it's kind of a shit term, but like, it's what we got. This is post-hardcore, Yeah.
It's music genres. It's a mess.
Yeah. Some of them are way too specific to the point where it's like it's describing like 3 bands, and some of them are so broad that they describe like 10,000 bands, and it's just like, what?
Although I am thankful because it helped me find, what is it? Pop House or Trip House?
No, fucking, what's it called? Dream Pop.
No, not Dream Pop. So it's house. It's a subgenre of house music.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what it is. You don't know it, I don't think.
I apparently do not. But yeah, man. Oh, hell yeah. I'm so glad you like this.
Yeah, it was great.
You didn't
Deep House.
Deep House. Oh, yes.
Anyway, yeah, it was great. As soon as, like, it was literally like within seconds of the album starting, the first time I listened to it, it was just like, oh, this album is amazing. Great.
Excellent.
Like,
and we finally got your Screamo lyrics.
Yeah.
That you didn't know what they were, and now you do.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it. All right.
Yes.
We did it.
We did it. Next time. Oh my god.
You gonna make it? Devin Townsend.
Yeah, Devin Townsend. Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay, so we're gonna do Devin Townsend. I mean, I assume we're just gonna fucking. Did you want to like? Are we just gonna talk about all his albums?
Stuff. Yeah, including Strapping Lad and stuff, all his other like projects.
Okay.
2 hours to cover Devin Townsend. That's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, we might have to be just be sparing in our pre-show.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah, this was great. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased that you like that album.
Yes, and I'm very happy you liked Lauren as well. They're one of my favorite bands.
Excellent.
Good.
All right.
Yeah. Well, talk to you later.
Yep. See you later, everybody.